There is a leaf, possibly already in your kitchen, that contains compounds with more published clinical research on skin collagen synthesis than almost any other natural substance available. It has been a cornerstone of clinical skincare protocols in Korea and Japan for decades. It appears in prescription-grade wound healing treatments. It is used in premium clinical anti-aging formulations throughout East Asian medicine, and it is almost completely unknown in Western anti-aging content. Most women over 40 are fighting visible skin aging from the outside. Serums, retinols, moisturizers, while the biological processes accelerating that aging run entirely from the inside. MMP enzymes quietly breaking down existing collagen daily. Glycation stiffening collagen fibers with every meal. Fibroblast activity declining year on year, with no topical product able to reach it. 5 specific leaves, steeped in hot water, address all 3 of those processes from the bloodstream, reaching the dermis directly in a way nothing applied to the skin surface can. Today, we are covering all 5, ranked from powerful to the leaf that changes everything. If this is the kind of analysis you have been looking for, subscribe now. This is what we do every week. Here is the biological reality most skincare advice never reaches. The most significant drivers of visible aging after 40 are internal processes that no topical product can address. 3 specifically. First, MMP enzymes. Matrix metalloproteinases are proteins activated by chronic low-grade inflammation that actively break down collagen and elastin in the dermis. No topical product penetrates deeply enough to inhibit MMP activity at the dermal level. Certain plant compounds consumed as tea reach the bloodstream and circulate to the dermis directly, inhibiting MMP activity from the inside. Second, glycation. When blood sugar spikes repeatedly after meals, sugar molecules in the bloodstream bind to collagen fibers in the skin. They cross-link them, stiffen them, make them brittle. This process is called advanced glycation end product formation, and it has nothing to do with what is applied topically. It is driven entirely by what happens internally after every carbohydrate-rich meal. Third, fibroblast decline. The collagen-producing cells in the dermis become progressively less active after 40. Certain plant compounds consumed as tea have been shown in published research to directly stimulate fibroblast proliferation, increasing both the number and activity of collagen-producing cells from within the bloodstream. Here are the 5 leaves that address all 3 processes, ranked from powerful to the one that changes everything. Olive leaf contains a compound called oleoropyrin. Oleoropyrin directly inhibits MMP1 and MMP3, the specific matrix metalloproteinase enzymes that break down collagen and elastin in chronically inflamed aging skin, for skin over 40, where collagen is already declining at 1% per year. Stopping the enzymatic destruction of existing collagen is as important as building new collagen. You cannot rebuild what continues to be destroyed faster than it is produced. After 40, the body produces higher baseline levels of interleukin-6, an inflammatory signaling compound that keeps the skin's inflammatory response elevated as a chronic baseline state. This is the inflammaging pathway, invisible, symptomless, producing no obvious redness or irritation, quietly destroying collagen daily at the dermal level. Oleoropyrin directly suppresses interleukin-6 activity, not masking inflammation the way a topical anti-inflammatory would, addressing the signaling pathway that keeps it switched on. The recognition moment is specific. Skin that has become progressively more sensitive over the last 2 to 3 years without a clear cause. A dullness and gradual loss of firmness that no moisturizer has touched. That is inflammaging running underneath at the dermal level where topicals cannot reach. Preparation: 2 grams of dried olive leaf steeped in water, brought to boil and cooled for 2 minutes. Temperatures above 95 degrees Celsius begin to degrade oleoropyrin. Drink in the morning before breakfast, when anti-inflammatory compounds work most synergistically with the body's morning chemistry. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. Curcumin and oleoropyrin work through complementary, non-overlapping anti-inflammatory pathways. The combined MMP inhibitory effect exceeds what either compound produces alone. A woman in her mid-40s had watched her skin become increasingly reactive over 2 years, despite a consistent and expensive routine. The products were addressing the surface. The inflammaging was running at the dermal level, where nothing she applied could reach it. Olive leaf addressed the mechanism from the bloodstream. The next leaf addresses a mechanism most women have never connected to their skin at all. This is the mechanism most women have never heard of in the context of skin. Every time blood sugar spikes, after a carbohydrate-rich meal, after fruit juice, after bread, Sugar molecules in the bloodstream bind to collagen and elastin fibers in the skin. They cross-link them. The fibers stiffen. They become brittle, incapable of the flexibility that gives skin its bounce and structure. This is glycation, and the end products, called AGEs, accumulate in the skin permanently. They cannot be reversed with topical products. They cannot be addressed by skincare routines. They are driven entirely by what happens internally after every meal. Mulberry leaf contains a compound called deoxynitrogenamycin, DNJ, that partially inhibits the enzymes that break carbohydrates into glucose in the small intestine. This slows the rate at which sugar enters the bloodstream after eating, blunting the glucose spikes that drive glycation-driven collagen damage. A randomized double-blind trial, 84 participants, found mulberry leaf extract reduced post-meal blood glucose spikes by up to 42%. That is a structural change in how aggressively glycation is occurring in the collagen fibers of the skin after every carbohydrate-containing meal. The over 40 connection is specific. Estrogen decline after 40 impairs insulin sensitivity, making post-meal glucose spikes more pronounced and more damaging than they were at younger ages. Glycation-driven collagen damage accelerates specifically because of that hormonal shift. The recognition moment, a loss of the natural spring in the skin where pressure used to bounce back immediately but now feels slightly slower. A subtle yellowing or dullness that no serum addresses. Lines that feel structural rather than surface level. That is glycated collagen, stiffened, cross-linked, unreachable by topical products. Preparation: 3 to 4 grams of dried mulberry leaf, steeped for 8 minutes. Drink approximately 20 minutes before your largest carbohydrate meal of the day. That is when DNJ produces maximum impact on glucose absorption and collagen protection. Moringa leaf contains compounds called isothiocyanates, specifically one called Moringa, that activate a cellular pathway called NRF2. NRF2 is the master switch that activates the body's own internal antioxidant production system. When it is switched on, the body produces glutathione, superoxide dismutase, and catalase, its most powerful endogenous antioxidants. These antioxidants neutralize the free radicals that break down collagen from the inside. Antioxidants produced within the collagen-producing cells themselves. Moringa is also one of the richest plant sources of vitamin C, a non-negotiable cofactor in collagen synthesis. Without adequate vitamin C, in the dermis, fibroblasts cannot complete the hydroxylation step that gives collagen its triple helix architecture. Research confirms skin vitamin C concentrations decline significantly with age, even when dietary intake appears sufficient. Moringa delivers vitamin C in a bioavailable whole food form that reaches skin tissue more effectively than isolated supplements. Moringa contains phytoestrogens and compounds that support hormonal balance during perimenopause. The estrogen decline after 40 reduces the signal fibroblasts receive to produce collagen. Moringa's NRF2 activation partially compensates for that lost hormonal signal at the cellular level, stimulating collagen production through a non-hormonal pathway that works independently of estrogen levels. The recognition moment. Skin that has lost its deeper luminosity. Not dryness, not dead cell buildup, the kind of glow that comes from healthy collagen density and active fibroblasts. Products that promise radiance but deliver only surface sheen. That is an NRF2 deficit, the body's internal antioxidant system running below capacity. Preparation: 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried moringa powder in 300 milliliters of water brought to boil and cooled for 3 minutes. Steep 5 to 7 minutes. Add raw honey and a pinch of cinnamon. Cinnamon has documented independent blood sugar stabilizing effects that work synergistically with moringa's NRF2 activation for compounded collagen protection. If this is giving you information nobody has explained clearly, subscribe. It costs nothing and means you won't miss what comes next. Bay leaf, already in most kitchens. Almost never connected to skin. Bay leaf contains a bioflavonoid called rutin that has been shown in research from the Leibniz Institute on Aging to directly promote dermal fibroblast proliferation. The same research found rutin reduced the formation of advanced glycation end products by up to 31% when consumed consistently over 8 weeks. Bay leaf works on glycation through a completely different molecular mechanism than mulberry leaf, making the two consumed together more powerful than either alone. Bay leaf also contains parthenolide, a compound that directly suppresses NF-kappa B activity. NF-kappa B is the master regulator of inflammatory gene expression. In skin over 40, it tends to remain chronically activated, producing the low-grade collagen-destroying inflammation that runs silently underneath everything. Parthenolide physically blocks NF-kappa B activation, turning the inflammatory signal down toward where it was in younger skin. The recognition moment. Fine lines that have deepened gradually over the last 2 to 3 years despite consistent skincare. A loss of density and bounce that moisturizer addresses temporarily but cannot sustain. Makeup settling into lines that were not visible 18 months ago. That is fibroblast declined combined with glycation. Fewer collagen-producing cells, less structural protein being produced, and existing collagen stiffening. Preparation: 3 to 4 whole dried bay leaves placed in a small pot with 300 milliliters of cold water. Bring to boil together. Cold water extraction followed by heat creates a significantly richer polyphenol yield. Once boiling, reduce to a simmer for 5 minutes. Remove from heat, cover. Steep 8 additional minutes. Strain. Drink in the morning on an empty stomach for maximum absorption of fibroblast-stimulating compounds. Add Ceylon cinnamon and 2 to 3 slices of fresh ginger. The combined polyphenol effect exceeds what any ingredient produces individually. Number 1 is Gotu Kola, known in clinical science as Centella asiatica, and the reason it earns this position is specific and documented. It is the only leaf on this list with published clinical research specifically designed to measure its direct effect on human skin collagen synthesis. Not inflammation markers, not blood sugar. Collagen synthesis directly in human skin. Gotu Kola contains triterpenoid compounds, asiaticoside, madecassoside, asiatic acid, and madecasic acid. They directly stimulate the production of type 1 and type 3 collagen, the specific collagen types that constitute the structural architecture of facial skin, by activating fibroblasts at the gene expression level. Asiaticoside has been confirmed in multiple peer-reviewed studies to induce type 1 collagen synthesis via the TGF-beta receptor signaling pathway, increasing the transcription of collagen-encoding genes directly. The fibroblast is not simply being stimulated to be more active. It is receiving a specific instruction to produce more collagen at the genetic level. This is the distinction that separates Gotu Kola from every other leaf on this list. The Korean and Japanese clinical connection gives this the authority it deserves. Gotu Kola's triterpenoids, specifically madecassoside, are featured active ingredients in prescription-grade wound healing protocols and premium Korean clinical skincare formulations, specifically because of this collagen synthesis mechanism. It appears in post-procedure recovery treatments, in clinical anti-aging protocols, in formulations designed by skin biologists who have studied its mechanism for decades. Western anti-aging content has largely ignored it. That gap is the reason most women have never heard of the most clinically researched natural collagen-stimulating compound available. Why consuming it as tea is the most powerful delivery method. When Gotu Kola's triterpenoid compounds are absorbed through the gut into the bloodstream, they circulate to the dermis and reach fibroblasts throughout the entire face, neck, and body simultaneously. Topical application of Gotu Kola extract is limited by the skin barrier. Internal consumption delivers the collagen synthesis signal to every fibroblast in the body through the bloodstream. The over 40 amplification. Gotu Kola's asiaticoside compounds do not just signal existing fibroblasts. They promote fibroblast proliferation, increasing the total number of active collagen-producing cells. For skin over 40, this distinction is critical. More fibroblasts responding to stronger collagen production signals. Preparation: 2 to 3 grams of dried Gotu Kola leaf in 250 milliliters of water. Brought to boil and cooled for 2 minutes. Steep 8 to 10 minutes. Strain. Mild, slightly earthy flavor. Add raw honey if needed. Consume once daily consistently. The clinical studies showing collagen synthesis improvement ran for 8 to 12 weeks of daily consumption. Results are not overnight. They are measurable and visible within that window. The triple combination for maximum collagen rebuilding. Bay leaf in the morning, fibroblast stimulation, and glycation protection. Gotu Kola midday or afternoon. Direct collagen gene expression activation and fibroblast proliferation. Mulberry leaf before the largest meal. Glycation prevention from the bloodstream. 3 Ts, 3 separate collagen mechanisms, all operating simultaneously from the inside. 5 leaves, 5 biological mechanisms that topical products cannot reach. Olive leaf blocking the inflammatory pathway that destroys collagen daily. Mulberry leaf blunting the blood sugar spikes that glycate and stiffen collagen fibers. Moringa activating the internal antioxidant system and compensating for the estrogen-related collagen signal decline. Bay leaf stimulating fibroblast proliferation and blocking the inflammatory gene switch. Gotu Kola delivering a collagen synthesis instruction directly to fibroblasts at the genetic level through the bloodstream. This channel exists to explain what is actually happening to your skin and why. The mechanism the topical cannot reach. The biology the label never explains. The next video goes into something most women over 40 are applying directly to their skin every morning. That is quietly blocking everything these teas are building from the inside. Drop a comment below. Which leaf are you trying first?